And we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Back again. Another stream for you guys. Today, this is an exciting stream where we are going to be announcing the PolyMaximus launch date. It's been about 30 days since we started working on it. And long story short, it's ready to go. So in this time, if you've been keeping up with the streams, almost daily streams, some days I wasn't able to, and some days I was just working on it without streaming. But in the last 30 days, from scratch, we built, tested, integrated the PolyMaximus smart contract, which is, for the new people watching, that is a Hedron pool for bidding on the HSI liquidation auctions that are coming up as a result of the ICOSA system. So I guess it's not for new people; it's for people in this ecosystem already. That's what it is. It has a lot of advantages, similar advantages to our existing hex stake pools. You get more T-shares per Hedron versus bidding on your own because you can have access to larger stakes. You experience 99.9% gas fee savings on those stakes, and you get to experience the improved liquidity of holding ERC20 tokens that are backed by yield-producing assets. So a lot of benefits for individual users, also great for just the general ecosystems as a whole. It improves the hex staking experience because then users don't have to worry about paying for their own gas unless they choose to contribute to the person who does pay for the gas. And then also, Poly introduces a lot of benefits to the Hedron ecosystem. One, because when the Poly contract acquires HSIs, it's not just rolling them back into ICOSA. So it reduces the net ICOSA potential supply because those stakes are just being held until redemption. It boosts the Hedron market, one by pooling a lot of funds that once they're spent, if they successfully win auctions, those Hedrons are getting burnt. And then also the Hedron that is scraped off of these stakes as time goes on is simply staked. So huge buy and huge net buy pressure coming in for new participants in Poly. The ICOSA, it's not contributing to higher ICOSA supply. It is, locking up a bunch of Hedron for potentially 15 years. And we're providing the massive gas savings to the members of that ecosystem. So all the same benefits people love from the Maxi pool and then the perpetual pools, but applied to the stakes coming out through Hedron. So so that's what we built from scratch. We did it live. It was awesome doing it live. It was cool to let people into that experience and that process of what it takes to actually build and launch something. Got a lot of really good feedback. Like a lot of the decisions were made like kind of just like talking to the chat. So that was a really cool way to kind of source other people's perspectives. It also just helped get it done. We built the contract from scratch. It wasn't really. It's like we've already built most of these mechanisms. Like minting coins. Already built that in Maxi team of the perpetuals, so it's like that was easy. Redemption of coins, you already have that in Maxi in the pools, so that was easy. Hex stake management, it's like we already did that in the pools, so that was easy. But what's cool about this one is that it included the whole HSI auction and HSI management piece, so that was new innovation we had there. We're really innovating in this space of DAOs in terms of having like high performance strategy being able to be executed by the DAO, through this mechanism where by joining Poly, users delegate their bidding power to the executor. And the executor, all they can do is run the bid functions. They're never in possession of the funds. So it's like a trustless way to delegate your bidding power to an executor who will implement a private, mysterious, secret strategy. Who knows what it'll be? truly, it could be anything. So we're really innovating a lot in terms of DAO governance, organizing financial products around smart contracts. So we're really proud of that, and we're solving major problems for individuals and ecosystems as a whole. So I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. So in the first, we built the contract, and then the other things that we've built kind of in this meantime are built some dashboards for pulling HSI data from the Icosta system. It was kind of the seed of the dashboard that I am going to finish up here the next couple of days, that I'm going to give access to the executor, where they can use this dashboard to get tailored insights, pulling in data, private bidding interface, private data, so building tools to help the executor, because that's all you can do. Is you can try to help the executor out. You don't know what they're going to do, but you can try to help. So that's what I'm doing. Been building that stuff, building the front ends. I'd say that this was the best front end of any of the contracts that we've launched so far. I think it came out so nicely. One, it's just like, since Maxi launched in May, and then with the launch of the team and the perpetuals, it's like I've learned so much, just new techniques, saw how things worked in real life, so I kind of view those ones as like not the trial run, but just like those are like the first steps. And then now it's like with this rollout, I was able to take all the things that I learned from that whole experience and apply them here. So you should be seeing much better front end performance, much better front end design. Goldkey did a really good job on the design theme of this new DApp. And so that was a lot of fun building that. I think people enjoy watching the dApps get made more so than the contracts, because they get to test it out and stuff. And we had some people just in the chat giving awesome pointers, people that were better at CSS than me giving, helping out. So thank you to everyone who tuned in for all those. It's been a hell of a month just getting this ready to go. I was hoping to roll it out today, but just the timing of it, it's like now it's done, so, but yeah, so let's look at the chat before we announce the launch date. Chance says, woo, let's go. Hextech said, would like to ask a few questions on the stream. Yeah, man, load them up in the chat. Hit the like button, says David Gomez. I agree. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Let's go. We're taking it worldwide. I love saving gas, but I also want to amass the masses. The Poly token can be traded, though, adding flexibility. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a fully liquid token, so that's a lot of flexibility to the HSIs. I mean, that in general, like aside from the whole like bidding piece, probably the main important innovation here is basically being able to convert a basket of HSIs into a Maximus stake pool. So that's it just injects a lot of value into them. Like aside from the by being able to pool gas costs, which can be material for small stakes that are long, just boosting liquidity. So if you look on OpenSea, it's like there's a bunch of HSIs listed, but it's like you have to find the right buyer at the right price, and it's not like there's a liquidity pool for NFTs like this, and so. And you have to sell it all. It's kind of like an all or nothing thing. So being able to bundle these HSIs, that are natively saleable as NFTs, being able to bundle them into a contract that issues a token that is backed by them, and that token can just trade freely, that drastically increases the liquidity value proposition of these HSIs. So I feel like that's a really important contribution to the Hedron ecosystem, is that we are boosting the liquidity value proposition of their products. Big B says, Poly, here we go. I'm late. You're not to launch today yet? No, not yet. Daniel says, hey, Thonto, do the hodlers get a copy of Poly on Pulse Chain as well? All them, yeah, literally all of them. We'll have to revisit. Oh my God, that's so funny. Remember, I'll have to look back at my tweets, but there was a tweet that I made about like just when ePow came out, and then Pulse Chain, like kind of this like triple-headed dragon, and like all the Maximus DAO tokens like linked by markets across all the chains. Yeah, now we have 2 new tokens. So and I guess we didn't touch on that prior. So like I was talking about with the executor bids on behalf of the contract, meaning the executor pays the gas for doing the bidding. And gas during these auctions, it could get shockingly high. It's like there's 6,000 auctions happening all at once. These are high priority, high value transactions. And anytime that there's high priority, high value transactions, especially where like people are trying to get their transactions in and prevent other people, we may see crazy gas wars that we really haven't seen in Hex yet. You see them I've experienced them in some like NFT things I've been a part of in the past, but never seen like real gas wars happening in Hex. We'll probably see major gas wars happening like on day 5,555 and leading up to that as people like rush to end their stakes. Like we could see some funny business, but during these auctions, it's like there may be some funny business going on with the like just people doing things to drive up the gas price to prevent other people from being able to bid, or making it harder or more expensive for other people to have competing bids. So the gas could be shockingly high during these auctions. And so in order to give people the ability to boost the chance of success from the executor, we set up something called Water, which is basically a donation bucket where you can send ETH to the executor. And then if you send ETH to the executor through the Water contract, it mints you a Water token. So Water, you mint 369 Water per ETH. And then that coin has no use case and is not redeemable for anything. It's backed by nothing, printed from thin air. Simply, it is a symbol of support to the Maximus community. And I'm very interested in identifying individuals who experience, that level of commitment to Maximus and that level of support. That would be an awesome group of people to align with. So it's just a memento. It has no use case, no backing, no staking, no redemption. It's just really scarce and experiences a cool third inning where in the first 36 days, 369 Water per ETH. Second, after day 36, it is 123. After day 72, it is 41, followed by 13, then 4, then 1, and then after that, no more Water is minted. And by then, the auctions are probably done anyways, so there's really no need for pooling any more ETH. But yeah, so that's kind of like the tag along token of the Poly system is the gas fee donation bucket token. So that's a lot of fun. And yeah, so we'll be rolling those out, and so those 2 tokens will be copied to Pulse Chain. Not yet, no pronounce yet. Good vibes, that's right. Introduction to the Poly idea. Yep. Hey all, hey. What's up, Sandy Beach in the house? Hello, DC and everyone. What period will we have up till the 13th? So we're gonna you'll be able to mint through that last day of, if you staked your Icosa on day 1, or you staked your Hedron on the first day of Icosa, and if you're in that squid category, that 90-day mark, you'll be able to mint. So it'll be through. We'll publish the full like actual detailed schedule, like as it's just probably tomorrow you'll see. But yeah, basically as soon as the first set of auctions start, you'll have about 24 hours after that to continue to mint. Enrico says, well done on building more cool stuff. Thank you. This is just the beginning. I feel like I'm just now getting good. So this is definitely the beginning. Sandy Beach, so pumped. Did I miss the date? Not yet. Did I just reveal the date in what I was just talking about? Thanks. What's up? Sandy Beach everywhere. Yeah, Sandy Beach is everywhere, and she comes in with the Sandy Beach emoji. Always a pleasure to have her in the chat. So pumped. Oh yeah, I already said that. Spike the gas. Let's go demonstrate why we win the pools. Yeah. I worry that I let the genie out of the bottle on that one, because it's like I was suggesting that because with that water token that I was describing, like that Ethereum gas pool, much like the bidding is at the executor's discretion, the use of the ETH is at the executor's discretion. So I was painting all the possibilities of what the executor may do with the ETH that is donated to help with the fees, because maybe people, I don't know. I mean, people are really excited about the water token. Like, aside from the whole pooling of ETH for the executor's fees, like donating, it's like people are kind of drawn into this thing for some reason, and so there may be more ETH than what is needed, and so I was painting a picture of what they might do with it. I was like, okay, maybe they buy some Hedron to maybe buy Hedron and then send it direct to the contract if they want to keep bidding. Maybe they and the example I gave was maybe they set off a bunch of Chen minting bots that just fill the blocks up, and then they just sell the Chen to like cover the cost and just try to put in a bid, fill up the blocks. So I'm worried that I actually let the genie out of the bottle on that someone may do that or try to do that. And luckily the pool combined with this gas fee pooling system, luckily that leaves Poly more resilient to the impacts of potentially high gas fees as a result of these auctions. So you're right there that I shouldn't have kind of made that inference that's a possibility of something that may happen, because I'm now worried that someone may do that, and then everyone's going to think it was me because I suggested it as something that could help someone in a pool, because when you're in a pool you can afford to bear higher costs because you're sharing the costs. So it's kind of funny. So we'll see. It's gonna be crazy. Water is a great idea, bro. Yeah, and it was so easy to make. So they're like 10 lines of code, because all it does is you send it ETH, mints you the token. Like, you don't even need you can do it through MetaMask. You can just send ETH directly to the address and it mints you the token. You don't even need a front end, but we have a nice front end for it. Yeah, water is awesome. It's got a great name, great ticker, great meaning. Water is the meaning of life. So I do like it. Did you consider an NFT instead of water? Different design reflecting the amount of ETH donated? Yeah, I mean, it's just like, NFTs, they just kind of suck in terms of selling them, like the liquidity isn't very, it's just like, it's like you have to, it's like maybe one person would have experienced massive liquidity and then everyone else doesn't. So like, I generally like ERC20 more. NFT would have been a fine way to do it, but also it's like, I didn't want to spend a bunch of effort doing it. I was like, because the original idea was just like, we're like, okay, let's just encourage people to send Ethereum to the executor, because like we already have very generous people. Like, so far in the Maximus timeline, we've had people, they donated some ETH to me to reimburse me for paying for the Maxi audit out of pocket. The community raised like $15,000 to send us that Vegas conference. People sent me ETH and ETHW and ETH when I was deploying Diamond Hands contract. So it's like the community already has a history of, contributing, donating to cover gas costs or other costs that benefit everybody. So it's like we were just going to do a simple donation address on the page, but then we're like, okay, like you can. There's a function in Solidity called receive, which is like the default thing where if Ethereum enters an address, what happens to it, or what happens, and you can mint a coin through the receive function. So we're like, okay, like if we're going to invite people to be sending ETH to an address, why not just have it mint them a token? It's just like a fun memento. So that was why we did it, because it was just like trivial. We could have made it like a whole NFT thing, but it's like I wasn't going to just like build all kinds of stuff for that. It's like it was trivial. It literally took me about 15 minutes to make. Like, from the time that we announced I'd already kind of built the prototype, but from the time that we like announced it, it was literally like 20 minutes before I had it on testnet working. So like it was trivial to make, and so I wasn't going to spend a lot of time building on that concept, and so that's why I didn't want to do like a whole NFT thing about it. Thanks, Vets in Crypto. Thank you. My body, mind, and soul are ready, sir. Thank you. Mine are too. I feel very good. Like I feel this alignment I feel really good health lately. I mean, just in terms of like, I mean, even my sleep can get better just because I'm literally streaming. I get this fucking bright ass light here, maybe disrupting my circadian rhythm, and then I'm just like, I'll lay in bed and just like be thinking, like I'll literally, honestly, a lot of my coding time is actually just like when I'm in bed, I'm just thinking about like writing the code in my mind so that when I come on stream the next day to work on whatever I'm going to do, it's like it just flows. It's like because I've already kind of written it in my mind. So I could improve my sleep. I'd say my diet's been good. My overall like happiness and like connection with others been good. Been getting a lot more outdoor time in the sun. So yeah, my body, mind, and soul are ready as well. So we'll rock and roll this thing. Dipcatcher low-key farmer knowing all about water and polycultures. There you go. I have that in my roots. My ancestors all they were. I mean, even up to like my grandparents, they were all rural farmers. For Poly, me too. A trademark. Question: what's up, man? K4K. I know it seems like giving Golki a hard time in chat, Taunt, but I'm a day one Hex Instagram for community. I apologize as well. Thank you. Yeah, man. I don't take anything personal. You could say even like egregious, horribly hateful things to me. Like, I truly don't take anything personally at all. And like, I actually prefer that people try to push back because realistically, like well, at least I feel like whenever I'm given the opportunity to like counter someone's, retraction or like counter like whatever wall they put up, I feel like that's like the setting in which my ideas get across the best. So like I actually appreciate the kind of like pushback because I feel like it does pull out the best and it puts it in a way where it's not like I'm trying to convince you like or any person who's like giving the feedback. I'm more trying to persuade the surrounding listeners, and so I do appreciate the feedback, and I certainly don't take it personally. Now you've let the cat out of the bag regarding the gas fee. Can you use Trust Wallet asking for a friend? I think so. I do think so. But we'll see. I'll have to check, but I do believe you can. Yeah, I think so. I think I saw people minting the others on Trust Wallet. "10 lines of code. What an epic flex." I mean, look at this. This is the this is it all, like, so I guess more than 10 lines. This is the whole entire Polywater thing. And like this was just on literally while I was building this, someone was like, can you donate ERC20s? And I was like, well, you can't mint on ERC20 receive, but maybe the executor can just draw from it. So that's this. It would be shorter, but I added this per the request of someone in the live chat. But yeah, I mean, this is it. And this is that where it just calculates the mint rate, and then it mints you the token. That's all it does. When this receives ETH, calculates the mint rate, mints you the coin. That's all it does. So yeah, that 10 lines of code. What an epic flex. That is cool. Yeah. I could make it shorter if I tried. Maybe I will next one. Is there a chance that one savvy whale could win all the HSIs of value? Could that be Poly? What percent of biddable HSIs won would make Poly a success in your mind? Yeah, I mean, savvy whale absolutely could. I mean, the main one that could just yoink all of them is the source address, right? Like they've got by far the most hedron, and yeah, so that's like in terms of like formidable competitors, that's like the competitor that I'm most concerned with, but not even concerned, because it's like all as far as I'm like from my perspective, 100% of the hedron that is held in the source address, hedron declare, flow address, whatever, everything related to the issuance of hedron, all that hedron is fair game. It absolutely can bid. So I definitely think that that and maybe that was the whole purpose of the whole thing, was to use that as a mechanism to just procure all those HSIs, which would be an amazingly savvy thing to do. Like that would command utmost respect because of just like the execution of ending up with all of those stakes. Like that would be a true marvel. And so that's the one whale that I know is savvy, that I think could just yoink it all. Poly could also be up there too, right? And it all just depends, like, how big Poly is relative to the other active bidders. Because, there's like, I think under 100 people that have over 1 trillion hedron. And I think we can get up there. So I think we'll be in the top, couple percent of like, hedron deployable by size. And then with that, with that hedron, or the competitors with that amount of hedron, who knows how much they actually have allocated to their bidding budget. They may not even be that interested in bidding at all. So, with Poly having kind of like the stated purpose of, bidding, and while, a lot of people, may just want to hold the hedron because hedron could pump, it's like, that's, what if hedron just pumped? And so if a lot of people that hold their hedron not in Poly and not bidding, then maybe, Poly could just yoink up all the high value ones. And then that'd be a hell of a coin that's backed by, so Poly, in that case, it's like you mint it with hedron and then it gets a bunch of HSI hex stakes. And then also a part of the hedron is simply staked. A part of the incoming budget is just simply staked. And then all the hedron that is peeled off of those HSIs as time goes on, that's added to the stake. So over time, the Poly stake will be just eating and growing and growing and growing their size of the hedron staking cohort. So Poly is going to be backed by a bunch of the most valuable possible hex stakes available, plus a growing position in the hedron staking system. So that means it's earning ICOSA, which has the chance to potentially track the T-share rate. So like Poly is going to be backed by 3 badass assets in Hex, hedron, ICOSA. So it absolutely could, and that would be quite the spectacle. That's very good. Genius right here. Thank you. On stream. Thank you. You're the genius. You're the one that's absorbing all this information. Time for a well-deserved break. Not time. See, this is my break, though. That's the thing. I'm so hardcore neglecting other things in my life and in other ventures and business and life stuff that this is my break. Ain't no rest for the wicked. We do rest through small price play. Yeah. I mean, and I'm having fun too, so it's not even a thing. Is there any possibility of Poly not having enough gas to mint stakes in 15 years if we're only able to send ETH for gas for all the time? So the pooling of gas for the ending of stakes, that'll be at a later time. So I've built a prototype of that's why I was able to build this so quickly, is because I'd already been prototyping a gas pool for ending stakes, or not ending the stakes, but so the way that I set us up for doing that is, I'll show you. Oh, here, I'll show you in the code. I set a. Okay, here we go. So I didn't build the gas pooling yet, and water's not meant for the HSI. Well, the executor could absolutely save the ETH for that purpose, and that would be an awesome time to just pool it in general. But the way that that we just prepare for a future gas pooling solution is whenever somebody ends the stake, we save a list of all the people that ended a stake on behalf of Poly, and so that enables another contract to trustlessly reimburse the people that ended stake. So kind of already thinking ahead for that. Water is a little bit more targeted, but definitely like leftover ETH could absolutely be used for, maybe seeding a gas pool for reimbursing these end stakers. So I like where you're thinking. When launch? Oh yeah, I should launch the date, huh? Rango says it's been here. I'll get to the bottom of chat and then I'll announce. I'm almost there. Rango asks, it's been great watching you build the program. Thanks for the information the other day also. Yeah, of course. It's been awesome getting to share that with y'all. Holy shit, where you find this man? LOL. DZ what? If you build it, it will come. What's the next product coming out to gain awareness of the Hex ecosystem? Like something CoinGecko would rank correctly. There's one awesome idea. There's a lot of great ideas of things that we want to build, and then there's a lot of easy ideas that we could easily build and like continue to kind of grow our web of solutions that we're providing. There's one in particular that I think could be literally that it's more of like a, most of the in terms of like how I sort things, it's like I try to think of things that are like trivial to do, like something that I can just do without much effort or time or risk. But and then I start to weigh kind of like, what's like is this like a game changer? Is this like an incremental value add? Which is all good. Those are like all the positives you can get. So like best case scenario is where total game changer and trivial to implement. Next spec case is total game changer and maybe a little bit hard to implement, but doable. And then third, I would put things that make incremental value, but are trivial to do. So, there are definitely some more stuff but we try to stay focused on the here and now. And until these things are on mainnet, imagine that they're bullshit. Just stories, just narrative, just entertainment. So like even now, it's like even until you see Poly on mainnet, it is all for entertainment purpose only. Any update on Dolphins being able to end their hedge or stake time in Poly? Yeah, so I actually did extend I found a way to simply extend the minting window. I had to change. I had to make an update to the contract to allow that, and I'll show you what it was. It was very simple. Let's see. So basically, all I had to do in order to enable that was I had to. I introduced a concept called last possible minting day, and that's the last what the name suggests. And if you're on that last possible minting day, meaning that 90 day, like that 90th day, that's like that last possible minting day. If you stake on that day, then by then it's like because this function is run, this needs to run right when the auctions start. Whereas like that last day for those people to be able to end their stakes without penalty, that's like the day after. And so I had to extend the minting day, but I had to make sure that this sequence ran first. And so I just basically broke it up into two different phases where there's the minting before this day, like the original day, which is minting phase end day. That's like kind of one section. And in that case, in with those minters, those minters are voting on the breakdown of like the bidding budget. So, where you pass in a value, we set it to be between 50% and 100%. Where you can choose like what percent of the, you're voting on what percent gets bid and what percent is simply staked. And then for people that minted, where the current day is the last possible minting day, they're not really voting anymore on the stake budget because the stake has already happened. So it's all just going into bidding. And then we had to account for the part, the thank you team part, where the Poly Minters thank team for presenting them with this wonderful opportunity. Thanking them for saving them 99% on gas fees and letting them have Hedron staking bonuses with 1% of the total Hedron pledged. So that was all I had to do, was just account for like those two pieces that were part of this like transition function. So I just had to, just massage this minting thing a little bit. And then, yeah, that was all it took. So we will be able to mint. What's the time where you are, Dip? It's beer 30. I'm just kidding. What does Poly stake all the leftover Hedron after it loses the ability to build? Does Poly stake all the leftover Hedron after? Yeah, so good question. The way it works is there's a function called stake leftover. And if 30 days have elapsed without the executor placing a bid, so meaning the executor ran out of their budget, or just simply, the executor didn't view any of the available HSIs as a good price, or maybe the executor just never even does anything. Like what if the executor just never places a bid? If there's 30-day period without bid, it's considered that the bidding is over, and so the leftover Hedron is simply staked. So, and that can only happen. It can't happen within the last 366 days of the whole scheduled system. So if like the days until the latest stake ends, if it's more than 366 days, then you can't run it, because then that would lock in the like end stake day for that stake, and it could keep pushing on. So it can't be run after this period of time. Happy Friday, Thursday night, USA. Yep. When Poly. Funny you ask, Frank. So why don't we announce the Poly the Poly launch? So here, first of all, before we announce it, I would like everybody to take this link and tweet it out. So let's all do that. I want to see, when I see and say announcing. Here, I'll type the tweet out, and I want you guys to copy and paste this and tweet it out. And then once I see a handful of these on Twitter, we're going to announce the date. So the tweet is going to say, so Dip Catcher is announcing the Poly launch date now. Okay, I just post it in the chat, copy and paste that. I'll tweet it out too. Hit the tweet button, tweet about to announce launch date, and come on live. Let's see. Oh my god, look at that. Here, let's stop sharing. Oh no, let's remove that one. Look at this. Look how funny this is. Look at this hilarious meme that someone made. That's so true. That's literally it. All right, guys, I need to see some tweets. Tweet that out. See more people in watching the video, so maybe you're sharing it. Well, this guy, Vets the Crypto, tweeted it. All right, guys. Let's stop sharing that screen and let's pull up the all right, guys. Tex says I'm ready. Katie says let's go. Come on, I deleted my Twitter app. Holy hell, help me. That's funny. It's all good. Let's go Poly and Astros. Go Phillies. Post it here. Wait, wrong one. All right, you guys. We have more people in chat, so I assume you guys sent out the tweet. All right, drum roll, please. I almost clicked end broadcast when I was meant to click share screen. All right, you guys. November 5th, 0 UTC. We're launching PolyMaximus. That's in about 20 hours from now. We'll go live. So load up your hedron bags. Get ready to mint. 1 poly per hedron. 369 water per ETH. You know, gas cool. Whole lot of fun. Whole lot of pooling. So here, why don't we go over what your experience is going to be starting tomorrow. So let's pin that down, and then let's go to the testnet version. So PolyMaximus test.amble.app. Share this your screen. Here, we'll copy it. So here's the Poly dashboard. So you just connect. So this is on Pulse Chain testnet. The minting phase is done, but you would choose how much you're going to mint, approve, then mint. You can add Poly to the MetaMask. So this is minting Poly, very simple. That's all you have to do. And so that's just layer one. That's first step. And that's all. If that's all you want to do, that's perfect. That's totally fine strategy too. So next level up is called Water. So Water is what we were talking about earlier. So Poly Water is the PolyMaximus Executor gas fee donation pool. Donate ETH to the Poly Water contract and automatically mint 369 water tokens per ETH. And so the mint rate goes down every 36 days. It cuts in thirds. It's like we have third innings. Bitcoin has half innings every 4 years. Poly Water has third innings every 36 days until day 214, maybe. I don't know. Have to zoom in the numbers, but when no more water will ever be open. So again, water tokens have no use case at this time. They're purely collectible symbols of your for PolyMaximus. It goes without saying. It's you didn't have to include the token. It's just make it more fun, to be honest. This is mainly to just equip the executor with as much ETH as possible so that they can stick out long, gruesome gas wars. They can stick out long, gruesome auctions. The competition is fierce, and so if you want there to be success, this is one way that you can do that. Another way to contribute to the executor's chance of success is to put in information in the suggestion box. So here, what you do is you can identify a stake. So maybe through a liquidation ID. So the first one we'll see is number 30. I know this, or maybe an HSI address, and then you can put in a bid amount that you think would be appropriate, and then some notes here hey, you're awesome. And then when you hit submit, you can't see this on the screen, but you just sign a transaction on MetaMask, and then that transaction is broadcast not to the network, so that's totally off chain, those messages are then sent to the executor. So on the dashboard that I made, it's a private dashboard only for the executor's eyes for bidding on the HSIs and analyzing the HSI data. It has a suggestion box where the executor can see all the suggestions from people that have poly and people that have water, and it sees how much poly and how much water, so they can kind of gauge how much skin in the game. And so it's just a way to surface strategy and give insight and advice to the executor while they're bidding on these HSIs. So it's like, I think this is a really awesome concept where it allows for people to get involved with the executor, and it's like a way for the executor to just kind of have like a spam filter, where it's like the only people that are going to be putting forth information are people with poly and water, and so they can kind of gauge for themselves like how seriously they take different pieces of advice. So those are kind of the key actions. The primary one being mint poly. Like this is numero uno. Water is for people that want to demonstrate their commitment to Maximus and to boost and use ETH to boost the chance of success for the executor. And the suggestion box, this is free. You don't have to, there's no transactions involved in this. This is just like a way for users to pass information to the executive. So that's what's rolling out in about 20 hours from now. We had a successful run on testnet, successful minting, successful HSI management. Those HSIs ended today. And so everything worked as expected. So honestly, it's ready to launch now, but I'm going to do it tomorrow because I'm going to make sure all the I's are crossed and T's are dotted. But yeah, it's ready to roll. So we'll be doing that, around UTC time, right as the day ticks over UTC time. So. Almighty Hexagon, woo! Rank Media, yay! 11/5/22, save the date. That's right. Bang bang. On fire. Remember the 5th of November. That's right. Oh yeah. 100 to 100. So thirsty. Need more water and poly. So excited about poly and water. Me too. They call me Dip Executor, and that's not a threat. Yeah, guys, I'm really excited about all this. It's a huge solution. Let's see what people said on Twitter. Wow. Okay, so people are talking about Pulse Chain. Richard gave the update that they're like competing to get it done. I hope they can get it done soon, but this will be yet again a few more tokens that Maximus DAO launches in time for Pulse Chain, in time for the copy. That's awesome. Very, very, very proud of that. It's so funny. We shortened the Maxi Mint in May. It was April, but in April into May, we shortened that because we thought mid-May was launch day. Do you believe that? Funny how times have changed. We went from shortening the Maxi Mint phase to be there in time for Pulse Chain. In that time, we've launched, after Maxi, we launched Team, Base, Rio, Lucky, Jesse, the Diamond Hand contracts, not coins, but contracts associated with pools. Now we have PolyMaximus and its token water. Amazing. Is a symbol of the Guy Fawkes. Oh yeah, it's funny. I've never seen that movie. I'm thirsty. At least I got juice. So you gotta have the juice and the sauce. Thank you, DC every night. Thank you, Sandy. Champion service is awesome. Love what you have done to the Hex ecosystem. Keep it up. Thank you. And we thought the Vegas pool and mansion party were fun. Yeah, way more fun. All in a bear market. Oh yeah, this didn't feel like a bear market, right? Like, because I mean, one, if you think about it, I mean, it's all perspective, right? Like, it felt like a serious bear market if you only found out about Hex in October of last year. Like, that's a brutal bear market. But like, because there, by now it's like there have been so many of these cycles. It's just like kind of numb to it all now. So this was the first bear market I've experienced that didn't feel like a bear market. And then maybe it's because I was distracted building stuff and making stuff, but yeah, and that's like the best time. Imagine like, what, like it's a blessing that all this happened in a bear market, because then it's just like, just further upside. Because then it's like you can have a successful launch, but then like just the bear market just wrecks you. I mean, we kind of experienced that with Maxi, where like when Maxi launched, the hex price was 12 cents, and then when Pulse Chain delay was announced, it like nuked down to like 3 cents, and we've been around that 3 to 4 cent range since. And so even Maxi launched in the bear market, but it was at like the mid range of the bear market. So even that, like the USD value went down. Even though the hex value went up massively, the USD value still went down. Not as bad. That was kind of the good thing about it, was that it helped pad those losses. So people that converted their hex into Maxi during the minting, from their perspective, the hex price only went to like 5 cents, whereas the people that didn't, that just held hex, they experienced what, like 2.5, 3 cent hex. So it's interesting how these tokens influence your perspective. Wait until we get to do it all over again on Pulse Chain. Yeah, that's right. Hard to believe what you managed to do. Made respect. Thank you. See, I'm just grateful for everyone that has, supported along the way. Couldn't do it without you. And focus on development. Yeah. Hex ROI from low is still 684x. Yeah. So it's like, depending on when you got your hex is what you're feeling. Let's tweet this image out. Let's tweet it. It's kind of funny. There was a project that was scheduled to launch early October, but then they had to delay it. We took Poly and Water from idea to mainnet within the time that they had delayed their launch. It's so funny. And like, there's these kind of like burgeoning ecosystems or like other sacrifice projects that like have kind of been able to rely on the Pulse Chain delay to kind of give them some more time. But it's just so funny. I think sometimes there may even be fatigue, Maximus fatigue. It's like we just like keep rolling, keep launching, and so I'm very proud that we were able to get this done in time for the auctions. And it's awesome. It's an awesome contract, a lot of good innovation, a lot of good solutions. 11/5/22 is the day. Yeah. Well, UTC time. So if you're in the US, that is the evening. That's tomorrow night. All right, I just tweeted out. These yawns are contagious. Yeah, I'm tired. That was a great. So a bear market of holding lots of team, but also not that much. That's right. I wonder what the prices are on all the tokens. Oh wow, look at that. So base still hugging that 1-1 rate. Trio's down from, it was above 1-1 less than a day ago. Now it's measured in hex down to 92. Lucky is reaching back up to that. Desi's back at the 1-1 rate. Maxi is back up almost at 1.6. Oh my gosh. And as you know, Maxi went up, team measured in Maxi went back down. So team versus Maxi has been ranging in this 0.82 to 0.9 range. Pretty wild trading going on there. Yeah, so big day for Lucky. Big day for Lucky, big day for Maxi. Modest day for team, and I mean, it's suggesting is this a, I guess, big day for Trio. Is that a PB chart on your back wall? No, it's some cactus art. Could be there. Wow, that's like tomorrow night. Yes. Where's that meme? Is there a site to trace all the professionals like that on USDC pairs? So portfolio.maximus.cash has them. Sometimes, so Dex, I use Dex Screener to pull in the prices. Sometimes it acts all funky, but this shows the USD price. But once Poly launches, we're gonna do a whole upgrade to all this stuff. So, but in the meantime, you can see USD prices all right here. Wow, base has already accrued 1 million hex. 1.2 million hex. Trio's already accrued 1.1 million hex. Lucky 1.7 million. And Desi's accrued 16 million hex. Good God. 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 million hex on the perpetuals, and then 50 million there. We've accrued almost 70 million hex. That's amazing. Each Maxi's backed by 1.25 hex. That's crazy. Some team burning from early instinct. Love it. Love it all. Does anyone else have any questions? We've been going for about an hour. All right, you guys. I think that does it for the stream, the announcement stream. Hextex is, what is the value proposition of water? There is none. It is purely a donation mechanism. It is not. But it's funny, the more I say that it has no value and it is just a donation mechanism, the more bullish people get on it, which is kind of funny. The value proposition of water is that it becomes very scarce over time, and it's a symbol of your dedication and commitment and support of Maximus DAO. And perhaps that may, I mean, I personally am eager to see who mints water, because in my book, you will have leveled up, wherever you were, in a big way. So Liquid Ash, I couldn't have put it better. Water is a badge of honor, priceless. Yeah, that's right. Austin says, thank you for all you do, bud. Get some rest time. More games we have in the future. That's right. Thank you. Thank you, Dipcatcher, for all your efforts. I've never seen so much good work produced in just a few weeks. We'll be happy to mint Poly Water this week. Woohoo, thank you. Thank you so much. Water is a badge of honor. Oh, yeah. Water to $1 million. Yeah, so I mean, it starts at, if it's 369 per ETH, let's see what the ETH price is right now. ETH price. So 1548 divided by 369. Oh my God, it is literally 420. It's $4.20 at current ETH price. That's funny. That is hilarious. So that would put it at 1 million over 4.2. So Rango's calling for 238,000x. Dude, why are you coming to my chat with bearish price calls, bro? Chance says, do you have any ideas brewing in the background already? Oh yeah, I mean, things that there are things that probably are more important to build than Poly, but the time sensitivity of these auctions was like a big factor. There's one thing in particular that's massively important, massively lucrative. It benefits all of every single thing we built so far directly benefits from it. And like it could honestly be the biggest thing to ever happen to Hex. Like it's big and it's important. So it's not a price goal, it's a members goal. Let's get to 5,500 water holders. Oh yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be funny if water became like the reserve currency of the earth. But yeah, so once Poly launches, I don't know, it's hard to say what the next thing is going to be, because it's like the thing that I described, it's like massively important. It's like a little bit challenging to build. It'll be like a bigger effort. Whereas there's like clear things, like there's some clear pockets of demand that we can cater to that would be like trivial. So might launch I don't know. Well, with that said, thank you so much again, everybody. It says, man, I'm actually really excited to see what the price will do in the next few years. Yeah, I mean, it's got a badass bonding curve. I mean, look at the issuance schedule of this thing. Like, what's going to happen between day 35 and 36 when it cuts to 123 water per ETH? That's like a massive. It's a third in it. You know, the inflation rate cuts by a third. So, like, you know, what's going to happen there? What's going to happen there? Because then what if someone just makes liquidity before? Stake Maxi coming soon. Stated Maxi portfolio. Thanks in advance. Here we go. Thank you. Yeah, that'll come at some point. That one is like probably the least time sensitive one. It's like, really, what difference does it make if we start like the staking thing for that? Like, you know, we've got 15 years on that one, so that one is one that we want to build, but like, there's not quite the urgency. And honestly, that's a big thing that drives me, is urgency. So like with Poly, you know, there's like a hard deadline to get this out, and so that really pushed me to push the ball over the finish line. With Maxi, you know, we were trying to get it out before Pulse Chain, so that really pushed me. Team and the Perpetuals, while that was a much larger thing, like that was a massive undertaking to build that. I definitely goofed off and procrastinated like crazy over the summer. Like, I had a version of that contract done in July, but then like it wasn't very good, and then I basically had to rebuild it. And so it took me like all of July and August. We didn't launch until early September. And so, like, you know, honestly, partially it's like I got married. I had my wedding, honeymoon, and then like every other weekend I had another wedding. So I was also just having fun, relaxing, not really like pushing too hard. But I think really what kind of, you know, kicked me in the ass and got me moving was that, like, just like Costa launching. So I was like, you know, when I Costa launched, like, fuck, like that's a bunch of hex that could have been going into this. And so like that really kind of put a little fire under my ass to just keep pushing and make it happen. And then luckily, we were worried that like participation would be lower than Maxi because of ICOSA, but luckily with this one we had almost 3 times as much hex in these pools, so we weren't too impacted. While every hex that went into ICOSA could have otherwise gone into our pools, at the end of the day, we don't really feel like we were missing out much from that. So, with that, just like in terms of the 3 different things that we've launched so far, when there's been some deadline or some like external thing, like when we thought PolyMaximus was launching, that was a big push to get it done. These the auctions coming out on the 13th, that was like a big push. But then with the pools and team, we didn't really have any like hard deadline, and that's probably why I dilly-dallied like the whole month of July. 1 ETH equals 369 water. Yes. Should I just keep working? Should I just keep it moving? You guys want to see that? I was gonna like eat a little bit, some drink, maybe take a shower, do a little more work, and then go to bed. But should I just keep it moving? You could ask says looking for a nice ETH dip before water launch. I'm calling it the right just picks. Could be. People were worried there was going to be a big market crash on the 2nd, but I don't think that actually happened. Hey. Bro, get to bed. We can't have the coding goat lose his health as wealth. Yeah, I should get sleep tonight, especially because like whenever there's a launch, especially like every launch we've had has basically been first one was a Friday night. This recent one launched on a Monday. So I guess not, but just that first night, because it's like you just want to watch it. Only down like 12% on Fed day, and this past Fed day was not a good Fed day. Yeah. I'm a bit concerned about whales way overbidding for many of the stakes, forcing Poly to get worse deals on stakes. I don't know how it could affect price performance of Poly. Well, yeah, I mean, if they're way overbidding, then maybe there's other stakes to sneak up on, or maybe the executor like fakes out the other whales. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the factors in the Poly value is the value of the underlying assets, and so if it's overpaying, then yeah, that's a risk. Crypto Street says, Dipcatcher, you are a legend, sir. You know what? You're a legend too, just for being here. There we go. Poly water. Daniel says, put on the song I'm wrestling about tonight. Dude, I will go listen to that in your honor, but my channel, it's like, literally, I have this awesome video intro.
Yeah. Daddy Rich, what's your secret, brother?
My secret, please. How you doing, brother?
Thank you, brother.
Good to see you. The secret. Yeah.
I don't want to play too much all that flag, but like, I had that awesome intro. It's like, Daddy Rich, what's your secret, brother? The secret? There are no secrets. Believe that. Except believe in the love and believe in yourself. And most of all, that federal green. Because money walks and bullshit talks. Now this awesome background. I get copyright strike for that. Like, you even copyright claim against your channel for your Richard Pryor content. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're coming after that? A movie from the 70s? So I am trying to not play music and such on my channel because I get wrecked. See what people are saying on Twitter. Okay, here. I'm gonna tweet some warnings. So, with the upcoming Poly Water launch, keep in mind, I will not DM you anything. If you ask a question in chat, only accept help in public. Scammers will try DMing you to steal your money. It has happened before. Only go and use the dashboards we publish or direct on Etherscan or build your own. Don't use random Can't believe you get a copyright strike for that. Does that mean no Rising Crust Pizza song? So, I don't know. Let me play that for you right now. This one, it's like a indie artist, and he's very heavy into sampling. So I don't know, actually. I haven't been flagged from this one, so we'll listen to it for a little bit. So just to be safe, I'm going to change back to something else. I do have a lot of music in my StreamYard account that's from a website that does royalty-free, copyright-free music. So. See if the Hedron price has responded. Wow, from announcement to launch in over a month. Tweak this information. Happy ass. Trying to catch up with all your streams, real poly all in, just catch up with water. Quick recap on that, if you please. Yeah, here, let me just pull up this thing again so we can look at it. So water is the PolyMaximus Executor gas fee donation tool. Donate ETH to the PolyWater contract and automatically mint water tokens. So you mint 369 water tokens per ETH. So you send that ETH is now in the possession of the executor, who can use it for whatever they want. Stated purpose is for the gas fee for bidding. So they can competitively bid. Water tokens have no use case at this time. They are purely collectible symbols of your support for PolyMaximus. So, and you can mint 369 water for 1 ETH. Then after 36 days, it cuts in third. Another 36 days, cuts in third again. Cuts in third again. Cuts in third. Cuts in third until day 216, when no more water may be minted. So, really all there is to it. Nothing else. Literally nothing. How do you donate the water token? Well, so you don't donate the water token, you donate ETH, and then you automatically mint the water token. So there'll be an address. So all you'll do is just come here, select how much ETH. Here, I'll do right here. Just go here, say 1 ETH. I'm approving the transaction right now. Okay, so then we see it on Etherscan. Once it confirms, we'll see what happened. So you'll see that once that loads. What up, fam? Peppy's feeling wet. Sorry for not showing up much on live stream. Hey, man, literally, you don't owe me any apology. You got your own life going on. Don't worry about mine. But I do appreciate you being in the chat. You're an awesome contributor. The more the water, the better the bidding. Yeah, it can. Just like there's a lot of water minted, then the executor can implement a whole variety of different strategies to just like bleed out the competition. Everyone's ready to get wet. When outrage marketing, always there. Like, people were kind of outraged about, like, people were offended at how I was framing it, that you're either gonna the word they said was that I'm strong arming people into participating in the policy by saying that they're gonna get wrecked if they don't. So I kind of have been outrage marketing a little bit, but this is better than porn. All I see is like, Ollie wants some water. That's right. But this man is the king of tabs. Yeah, this isn't even a lot. I mean, the tabs build up, and I'm like running. I mean, look at this. Like when I'm doing development here, and I'm like running all these test transactions. Like look at all these deployments of PolyWater that I was testing and developing, and like. And then when I'm checking, I'm pulling up these block explorer links, and I'm sitting there waiting for them to refresh. They take forever because I don't know why it takes so long for the blocks to finalize on the testnet. But yeah, that's usually it. And then also, I mean, all of the contracts, like when I'm reading the smart contract codes for like Pgrin, for instance, or no, that was like Coaster. This is Pgrin. And I'm like reading from the contract, so like I may have a lot of Etherscan things pulled up. Yeah, that is my reality. Thanks for the nice words and support. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. That's funny. Yes, the gas fees will help the bidding and maybe to cover some DC bills from all the audits. You do great work and support from everyone in space. Thank you. Yeah, that could be a good use for it. You should put that idea in the suggestion box and tell the executor, hey, you should reimburse Dipcatcher for the audit you paid for. Anyone else think Eric was Eric and more free battle? Alright guys, I'm gonna hop off stream. I think this would be a good tool as well for the Maximus token for with the server. Yeah, so this is just the start of like the gas pooling concept. Like this one is like kind of like informal, you know, it like leans into the existing like executor model, but for the other stakes, I do want to build some type of gas pool that like directly reimburses whoever ends the stake, and then all the pools are already set up to support that. They already record who ends the stakes, so gas pool would absolutely be useful in that setting. Where's the best place to swap to get trio? So I would go to matcha.xyz. And then so copy the address, take it to Matcha. Oh, you can't see my screen. Oh well, but here, I'll send you a link. There you go. So here. Just make sure when you see the rate you get, that's a good rate. Right now, when I look at it, it's like with one, you get 1.08. Let's say with like $1 million, you would only get Wow, if you bought 1,000,000 Trio right now, you would send it and do a 15% premium. Which website for the Poly and Water launch? So they'll be on poly.maximus.cash and water.maximus.cash. Those URLs are not live yet, so don't go there. I shouldn't even set it at this point because I'm going to be like testing and getting the deployment stuff ready on those links. So, but do not get scammed, please. You know what? I'm going to build something that I'll do it here. So something we wanted to add to the website was a send to HTML button. Okay, so an idea that Goki had that I told him that we would include, so I'm just going to do it. A little low-hanging fruit right now. Yeah, all the links will be on Twitter, and we'll link it from maximus.com. So what's the current featuring versus hex price? So one hex is worth 10,000 and 980. So then that would mean and 980 times 198,013. 1 principal valued around 2.2 trillion percent. Any idea how much the feature can be used? That is set by voters. Will be somewhere between 50% and 100% based on voters' vote. Alright guys, I'm gonna shower, miss work a little bit tonight, but let's just get rest. Get the ball moving early tomorrow. So, thank you all so much. Talk to you soon.